Hi guys, I wanted to give you a quick tour of how environment variables flow through the Qwik lifecycle, when they're loaded, and how they're filtered. So first of all, in this project I have two variables in the environment file. One that's prefixed with vite, which is what allows it to flow through to the browser, and then a secret. In the vite config, I output the environment variables at various stages. So the global scope after the load environment, which comes from vite, and what those variables look like, and then the dot environment config load and what those look like and how it impacts the process environment variables, and that's from the .env package. And then the component on the route, we've got the page, and I'm outputting the global scope within the on request, on render, and upon clicking a button. So let's go ahead and start this. And you'll notice that the server automatically loaded all these on execution of the vite config. So upon execution, you'll notice process environment variables are not initialized. And I think this is where most people get confused, is where are the environment variables? And then after the load environment call here, we can see that it picked up only the variables that are prefixed with vite, and still process environment is not initialized. And then we see the dot environment config call, which does load the entire environment file, and it configures process environment. Server starts, and now we go ahead and load the page, and we can see the server executed the page here. We got the global scope, and we can see our import meta environment is limited to what's prefixed with vite plus a few basic variables. And we can see process environment is also initialized because, again, we're on the server side. The next thing that happened is the on request fired, and the environment situation is the same between the meta environment and the process environment. And then the last thing it did was executed the render, and we can see we have, again, on the server side, this is all the server, we have the secret and all the variables. If we go over to the client, we can see pretty much nothing has happened in the console here. But when we click increment count, we see the global scope executed, count -1. We see the meta environment, the import meta environment variables have only what's prefixed with vite plus the basic variables. The next thing that happens is the on click executes, and again the import meta environment variables are here, limited to what's prefixed with vite. And then we have a render because that on click triggered a signal and caused it to render, so it came back again and executed again. We have filtered variables, no secrets have been passed through. So I hope this helps, and feel free to play at the repo. I'll post a link to it.